my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the go. Shout out to my that can get it independent and he looking for no love, yo. He trying to catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the go. He trying to stunt and give me drinks. I got the bottles in the section and I promise to the base.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Bengals going up against the Jets. With that, we'll get up to the Meadowlands as we introduce our new Madden broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Guys, to use a Broadway term, break a leg.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Charles the lone setback. And they'll get it up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And hauled in by Pitta. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here's Charles. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to...
Rodgers. On the left side, he finds Beasley. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the first down, and that's what he just did. And that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Again, here's Blunt. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That's caught at the 3. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. Folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And the defense for New York.
When Brian Orakpo was born, there was no doubt that with that name, he was going to be a defensive player and a good one. He knows how to get to quarterbacks.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch. Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level's leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense. That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. But they get back in the huddle. He's got to tell his guys up front. Great.
But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Brian Orakpo in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And a catch made by Kenny Brent. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run again with Blunt. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Blunt, the lone running back. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-all the score. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought
alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps, and that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And New York set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamal Charles, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Bengals have taken the lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense, get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. He was looking to get it to Kenny Britt that time. And now it's second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
He has Britt over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They played so well throughout this entire game.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. On play action, now Rodgers going up top. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And it's brought in by Pitta. 14 yards there on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys have the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That's a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. This is Charles. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now it's Roethlisberger. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup, and that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And hauled in by Pitta. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not opening weekend. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're... Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Down. Completes it to Blunt. And they'll bring him down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Blunt. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference on the defense. Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Larry Fitzgerald as time expires in the first half. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Williams to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. Third down at 8 now.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's got time in the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Holding. Offense. That penalty is declined.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking it about the 16. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals take possession. They'll try and get the running game going with Jamal Charles. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. A couple of Jets there in on the stop.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. A dump off for Charles. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 1st first down. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. There he goes left side. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown. That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Gore back there is the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker. And now up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done. A dump off here for Gore. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage. And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. Here's Roethlisberger. He completes it right side to White. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route. You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. As they've done all day, they run with Charles. Down to the 25.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Ryan Shazier in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him. Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it. No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact and give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
On first and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And now they're in the hurry-up. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On third and goal, Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Out of the ground here with Blunt. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they as we start fourth quarter. Wonder what first. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back. And that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Surveying the field. Going underneath to Blunt. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a pickup of 7. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
False start, offense.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And this is incomplete. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. The first down carry here for Charles. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Again, it's Charles. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Charles. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Couple of Jets there in on the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They come out here in the eye. Now a 20th carry here for Jamal Charles. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On the run, it's Charles. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock.
Try for Kotchery, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That is incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. We've got a 3rd and 11. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Finding time. Great protection. And he dumps it off to Blount. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Good throw. Does his job, and it's a first down for the offense.
Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback and the receiver to work their first down magic.
To throw is Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He's got time. And caught by Cameron right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's got him. It's the tight end, Cameron. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st down, Rodgers. Caught here left side by Brett. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kenny Brett, 51 yards. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And not much. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Following the penalty, here's Charles. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The 2015 Pro Bowler, Michael Bennett, with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
To the football, it's blocked.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Hey, watch the left, watch the left. Don't get nervous. 58. 56.
Now Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Roethlisberger going to throw it. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. I thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.